Hi Dragons, what's up? It's Nikita Dragun, and today I'm continuing my Transformation Tuesday video. Clearly not on a Tuesday, but I'm super excited that all you guys are so, also excited about this journey and about me sharing these videos. You know, I always see your comments asking, when is the next Transformation Tuesday video? And I also feel the more videos I release like this, the more people learn. And I've been getting so many amazing messages from so many transgender or anyone just affected, or even if they are not transgender, I think that this series is really impactful and I'm so glad it's actually working. So HRT, or going on hormones, or moaning, or getting your pretty pill, as I say, or getting my pretty shot, is essentially the process of kind of telling your body, hey, I'm gonna go from being a man to becoming a woman. And basically my body, born male, genetically, I guess, my body is constantly producing testosterone, and you know, that's what tells your body to, hey, you know, grow hair there, or, you know, make me feel this way, or make my voice this way, or change this about my body, change that. It's basically the fundamental building blocks of, you know, basically essentially your gender. So now I want to talk about the changes I started to feel almost immediately after getting my first dosage of estrogen. The first time I went, I got 40 milligrams of estrogen. You know, it's in a little tube and it varies. My doctor is really cautious on what levels of estrogen he gave me. He started me off with a larger dosage only because he kind of wanted to kickstart my transition. He's like, hey, this might be really intense for you. So if it's too intense, the next time I see you, we'll drop it down and we'll just kind of vary the level so that it's not at a consistent, you know, the highest dosage, so that you're not going crazy. But the initial effects, I swear, literally, I was so tired the first second I got it, but I swear it was just me being dramatic. I was like, oh, I'm so tired, and I immediately fell on my bed and just passed out. I swear to you, the first day I woke up, I was like, oh, this is changing, this is changing, this is changing. And I feel like, you know, the changes are so subtle and so little that in your mind you think everything's changing, especially in the first month. You're like, oh my god, this is changing, this is changing, this is changing. But for me, in the first month, I developed these balls in my boobie area, and basically the balls are called, or in the trans community are called knots, or in the doctor, they call it knots in the doctor's office, I think, too. But I'm not sure if that's the medical term, but I remember people saying, oh, have you gotten your knots yet? It basically feels like, it felt like a really hard, at first, like a little grape underneath my breast tissue, and I felt it like, oh my god, it was just throbbing pain. Like, it just felt like so much pressure, and immediately my nipples, and I know this is so graphic, my nipples were like rock solid and pointed. Like, they never went down. It wasn't even because I was cold, they were just rock solid. And it almost felt like I got them pierced or something because they were so sensitive. And I was like, oh my god, what is happening? Dear Jesus, dear Lord, help me. Throughout the transition, it would vary, but I would say the first probably 3 months, my boobs were so tender. They looked so funny. They were like diamond shapes almost. Like, you know, I'm not sure if you remember, like, back to middle school when you used to see the girls and they wouldn't wear, you know, obviously bras back then or at the time, and you would just see little cone boobies, like obviously bee stings. But to me, I was like, oh my god, I'm a woman. Oh my god. Like, I had these little boobies, and over time they've developed into a solid, you know, I've got a little something, you feel me? I'm sure if you guys follow me on Snapchat at Nick Dragun, you guys have seen I've been a little crazy sometimes, you know, snatching and pushing and squeezing them all together. And that's the thing, I haven't gotten a boob job or anything. I know a lot of people have asked me, and sometimes I do contour a lot, especially in the beginning I contoured a lot, but sometimes I really don't have to contour anymore, and I can just have my thingalangs just booming and powing and shamming. And I would say that's probably one of the most positive visually things that have happened since my transition. Oh, I love them. So another thing I immediately noticed when I started taking my estrogen, I noticed that my freaking, like, the fat that I was getting would distribute so randomly. Like, I have, you know, I've always gained like 5 pounds every year, and I know that sounds crazy, and I just stay that kind of that size for the entire year, and I'm just blessed that way, and it's just genetic that, you know, I don't really have to work out. and I just don't gain anything, you know, like I'm just like a stick. But when I got on estrogen, I noticed immediately that my eating habits might not have been the best thing ever. I definitely was growing like a little pouch, like a little pooch, and I still kind of have one. Oh my god, my foot's asleep. Ow. Anyways, back to what I was saying, I definitely was feeling like the things I was eating were definitely sticking to my body. But in the opposite side of that, or I guess on the plus of that, I noticed that the fat was actually going to the booty area and the hip area. And I noticed that my hips have gotten so much bigger and my butt has gotten so much bigger. And I haven't really worked it out on anything, and it's not very muscly, it's very plush, it's very plump. And overall, I will say that my body just feels so much softer. Like I just feel squishy. Like I know that's like a bad word to say, but like I feel like very squishy. And I know that hormones kind of disintegrate a bit of your muscle that you have. So I definitely think that's taken effect on my body. So I definitely feel a little bit more squishy, but it's not a bad thing. But I will say I did call my mom and my sister, and they were like, ha 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 ha, laughing at me, because you know, when I take on this journey of womanhood, I take on all aspects of being a woman. You know, I can't really pick and choose what I want. I'm taking all aspects of being a woman. One of the most noticeable things that changed about me the second I went on estrogen was obviously my body hair starts like pretty much stopped growing. I used to freaking have to pluck, tweeze, everything, shave, lawn mow, everything, wax, trim, landing strip, kamikaze, like every part of my body, because I am very hairy. I got that gene from my Italian side somehow. And I just noticed that being less so. I just feel like the hair itself is so much thinner. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I had really, really bad acne and my skin was so oily and just gross. But I noticed like the second, obviously, I was on HRT and hormone therapy, that everyone noticed that like my skin changed. Like that's been one of the biggest changes that everyone's been pointing out. People are like, oh my God, your skin is like crystal clear. And sometimes people even say that I have like a glow to me, and like they're like, it looks like you're glowing. And I just love that. I love that feeling. So that's why I always say that, you know, my estrogen shot is my pretty shot. A lot of you guys have commented on the fact that my voice has changed a lot, and I thank you guys so much, because it is such hard work. It does feel sometimes like I'm flexing a muscle, and that's the only thing I could say to you guys. Like it's literally like I'm talking at the height sometimes of my voice, and it sucks. It's so hard, and it's really, really daunting work to just be so consistent. But it's something that I know will overall benefit me in the end. And So now I'm going to touch on the emotional side of the transition on HRT, on hormones, and that is a bit of a roller coaster itself. You know, some days I wake up and I feel like I could conquer the world, and a lot of days I wake up and I feel like absolute shit. I feel like, especially when I went on hormones and like this, you know, like I'll tear up even thinking about it. I feel like a lot of times when I woke up and I looked in the mirror, I felt I was more judgmental of myself. I felt like I would pick myself apart, and it's really, really difficult because it's something I've never experienced in my life. You know, I always was that friend with tough love. You know, all my girlfriends would be like, oh, I hate this about me. I hate this about me. I look so ugly. Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, dude, you look so beautiful. What are you talking about? And I just want to apologize to any girl I ever said that to, because I understand, and I understand anyone who's going through an emotional kind of thing, because I've never experienced emotions. Like, I'm talking like 1 minute you will be the most happy person ever, and the next minute you feel like you literally cannot move. Like, it has just been such a roller coaster for me, and I feel like it has affected my relationships with people, especially in the beginning, because I didn't know that it was happening. To me, I thought I would just have these like Hulk moments and I would just feel the instant switch, but it's not like that. It just feels like my regular emotions, and it's not till after where I'm like, oh shit, was that my hormones? But that's not to say that I can blame my hormones for every mood swing that I have. You know, I am just human, but I will say sometimes the hormones amplify a lot of things, and it's been really hard because it has really, really affected my relationships with friends, especially because you know, it's a rocky journey, and it really shows who's really there for me. And it's really, really tough. It's like going through puberty all over again, you know? I also wanted to share with you guys one of the mistakes I was making, and it actually affected me these past 2 weeks, and that's why I've been gone for a little bit. And again, if you follow me on my Snapchat, @Dragun, you would have known this. But basically what was happening was I am injecting myself with estrogen, and when you're injecting yourself with estrogen, you have to take pills and medication to stop and block your testosterone production, because if not, you're still going to be producing testosterone while you're being injected with estrogen. And unfortunately, that was the biggest mistake that I made. I just totally, I guess it was totally my fault, but at the same time, my previous doctor who I was seeing didn't let me know and just assumed that I was on it and that I knew about the medications and that I was blocking my testosterone levels. But essentially, for the first majority of the months, I was taking I was putting in estrogen into my body while I was still producing testosterone, and it was really damaging my body, and I was just feeling really, really awful. I was waking up at night and dripping in sweat. I was bleeding from my nose, and I was just having really, really bad episodes. Anyways, Dragons, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really, really enjoyed it. Comment down below if you want to see more Transformation Tuesdays on actual Tuesdays. And comment down below, again, if you have any questions or if you just want to say, hey, what's up, hello. I'll be sure to leave everything and as much details and medications and information as I can in the description box below for you guys to research if you guys are really interested in that, or really cool articles that I have found that have helped me, or websites. So be sure to check my description box. But again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow all my social media @NickDragun, so Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, Snapchat @NickDragun, because that's when you keep really up to date with me on my transition and everything. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give this video a big thumbs up. And I think we're just about to hit 100K Dragons, which is a huge, huge, huge milestone. I'm not going to think about it now. I don't want to jinx it. But again, thank you so, so, so much for watching. And don't forget, breathe fire, my Dragons.